are live at the 360 Vegas studios with this edition of School Police Talk. We have the chief here. We have a new person who's not been on the show before. Chief, please introduce yourself and tell us what it is that you do.
Well, this is Sergeant Bernardo Barca. He's been with us for 8 years now. Came on just like everybody else. He was a lateral from Nevada Highway Patrol, and worked with me directly. I had him working in internal affairs for a bit. I think that was about 1.5 years, 2 years, somewhere around there, and promoted out of there to sergeant. And he's been in what we call the, what is it, Charlie area or David?
David area.
David area in Region 1 since then.
We're sort of at the beginning of the new year now. Right? And there's a lot of things that happen behind the scenes that, people don't know about the training and everything that went on throughout the last couple of months to make sure that if there ever was a situation that your people are completely trained, and that's something that you make sure that it's done and everything of that nature, so that these children, these administrators, the teachers, everybody is safe, right?
Right. So last year we continued and actually increased, I believe, the random search program, where a number of schools are selected each week to have a random weapons search at the start of the school day. And we just focus more on patrol, things like that, being visible at arrivals and dismissal. And yeah, a lot of good things happened that year. Of course, we increased our social worker program, so they doubled their clients throughout the year, which basically means our officers are using them as a resource when they're encountering issues out in the field. And I'm probably missing things, but we had that year, of course, a small little county surpassed us somewhere back east, but we had the most lead instructors in Clark County who taught lead in middle schools. So we're getting that information out there to middle school age kids just to make better decisions. And we'll see the impact of that later on. I don't think it's going to be right away, obviously. But yeah, it was a great year. You know, we had some incidents, obviously, but in terms of statistics, it was a good year for us. So we left that year, and I know I ended up talking about that at that last interview that we had.
Right.
So the summer was all about preparation for this school year, which is typically what happens. Yeah, we have typically about 50 to 70,000 kids in like a summer school program. So we have to actually protect them, and we also do all of our training. So all of our officers go through training, and they get the state mandated training that they typically are required to get every single year to maintain their Category 1 post certificates. And we add on some additional training as well, basically because we work in a school environment. So one of the big ones is the active assailant training, and I know I had Lieutenant Hewitt on here who ran that, and he still does. And that training is consistent with other agencies that provide active assailant training. We do it in one shot because we're preparing for the new school year, while the other agencies, they train throughout the year. But we invite them to train with us, and a few agencies take us up on that. But typically the training is similar. The other agencies use our schools as well to do those types of trainings throughout the year, while we do ours in the summer when it's hot.
Yeah.
So it's always good to prepare, and we do it 100% every year. Everybody who wears a gun, is on patrol, attends that training, and it's consistent through the MACTAC cadre. Mm-hmm. So, and I know the jetty's going to be set up here with Metro pretty soon, and state-of-the-art training facility. So hopefully we'll be able to utilize that in the future too, to increase our awareness of training and tactics and things like that, to prepare our officers for the worst thing you can possibly imagine that can happen in one of our schools.
Chief, Sergeant, thank you very much for taking the time to come here and see us. You know what I mean? It's always wonderful. And so we're going to look at this camera right here, and then we're just going to wave goodbye, okay? All right, see you soon.